Hello, my listeners. Welcome back. This will be Chapter 3, Part 4 of I'd Rather Be Walking Metamorphosis by Egg Right Stuff. As always, link for the down description, and I hope y'all enjoy. Miscalculation from his plan. If he was an animal, he couldn't make friends. Well, it's not like he wanted any anyway, he thought like a liar. He saw that a classmate from Madeira got in. She was his green-haired buddy. Her hair was a lighter color tone than his, and she wore blue round glasses. Her quirk was light manipulation. It was really cool. He was minding his business as a cat in his seat when she got near him. Why? He didn't remember her name. Wow, he was a terrible classmate. You are Midoriya-kun, aren't you? Meow. Yeah, I thought so. Aren't you going to change back? He should. Meow. They had time. They were both a few minutes early, so he had started walking to the scheduled area. She got the hint and followed him. Once they were alone, except for a security camera that the Chimera watched, he changed back. I got stuck in a pro hero's house. He thought I was a stray and kept me captive. I didn't have time to get my uniform. Oh, she laughed. Well, that was familiar. He'd laugh too if he was hearing the explanation instead of lived it. I have a spare one here. I brought just in case. It's a girl uniform, but it's better than nothing, right? Ooh. Damn. Now he felt bad for not knowing her name. I thank you so much. I owe you one. He bowed. Oh, there is no need for that. I'm just turn back and we will grab it in the classroom. It's on my bag. He nodded and became a cat. When they returned, more people were there, and they did think it was strange for a green cat to be there, especially after the girl pulled out clothes from her bag and gave it to the cat. He strolled into the bathroom and changed. He decided to strategically leave what he had already used underneath: the blazer and skirt, a black turtleneck shirt, and purple shorts. He returned to the class. Once he did leave, there were more people confused. Thank you again, Haruki-san. Her blazer had her name on it. It was honestly a savior. It's fine. Why are you wearing a girl's uniform? A guy with red, vibrant skin and purple hair asked him. Stuff happened. Oh yeah? It's good on you. What? This is not the place where he thought the conversation would be going. Thanks? I'm Berturtirisi. Izuki Midoriya. Sweet. What's your quirk? Mine is, if you're here to make friends, then leave. Ursa said, shutting up everyone. It took you all 4 minutes to even notice I was here. In life and death situation, you would have all been dead. Now put these on. We're having a small test. I'm Shota Aizawa, your homeroom teacher. Uh-oh. Sir, what about the welcome ceremony? The girl with floaty orange hair asked. Here in UA, teachers have full restraint on what we do with our class. That means I can skip the damn useless thing. That also means I have full liberty to expel you from my hero course if I see fit. Now go. We're losing time. Meet me at the gym. Gamma. Izuki was the first there, because he followed as I was sent to get there without getting lost, alongside a girl with bushy hair, who followed him after she realized he looked like he knew what he was doing. The rest of the class was quick to follow, and he found his friends? Are they his friends? And stood near them. There were 7 square blocks of cement in the gym. I'm going to put you in groups of 3. The object is to escape the room in 10 minutes. Quirks are allowed. Use any means necessary to escape. Ooh, sounds fun. A guy with pink hair and purple skin said. Fun, you say? How about this? If you don't do well enough, you'll be expelled. They still thought it would be fun. Izzy was paired with a girl with bushy hair. Miameta Fruwai, Quark Foam, and Ryuma Ryuki, Quark Transform. There was nothing inside of there. It was just plain cement walls. I can become a cannon and blast the wall, Ryunji said. No, I think this isn't really about pure strength. It has to do with some sort of social, logical way of solving this, Fiora said. I agree, Izuku. I can check if there was some kind of mechanism to this, he said after the two nodded to Pio Dog. As he sniffed, as he was sniffing, water started pouring from above. They all understood. By the ratio of water that was pouring, in 3 minutes the square would be full. Fiora filled the hole from where the water was leaking from. This won't hold for long, but it'll give us a... He heard something weird coming from a spot and turned back to human. I think is something here. Without a second thought, Rika became a lightsaber. It was weird sight, a floating lightsaber moving on its own. He made a hole in the wall where Izuku said there were some wires and a button. Ryuka clicked the button and there was more water started pouring and foam break. Oh no, she started laughing. Izuku and Ryunji did too, but to be fair, it was pretty funny. After a while of laughing, the water reached their faces. Sophia made a foam bubble around the three and said, Can you destroy the wall, following the path of the wires? Ryunji nodded and started doing just that. After a while, they reached a panel with 3 buttons. Izuku's instincts were screaming at him to go for the last one, so he did, and upon doing so, all the walls fell down. Water exploded everywhere, setting them free, except that, no, because one above them was also free falling above them. They would be crushed. A lot happened in a few seconds. Izuku turned into a crotch rocket. He doesn't like to turn into one. Oh, wait, this is cockroach. Izuku turned into a cockroach. He doesn't like turning into because it hurts, but these things are immortal. A bunch of foam exploded from Fuai, keeping the cement ceiling from reaching her, and Ryunji started to paddle away, following the cockroach. Eraserhead used a scarf to pull Fi-Yuan out of the way. Then he looked around for the other students and noticed they were standing next to him with stupid smiles on their faces. Kami, these kids would be the death of him. Also, the green problem child was naked except for boxers. You all failed. What? No. But we left the room. It's not our fault it exploded. What was the solution then? The 3 of them exclaimed at the same time. He sighed. Then, on another corner of the room, another block exploded. He ran to help them not die, crushed, before pulling them out of the way, his scarf. A few meters from there, a girl punched her way through the wall, making water, again, fly everywhere. Did no one look down? After everything, Eraser was soaked. He would never listen to Samantha's suggestions again. Next year would be a simple quirk test. Nothing more, nothing less. The entire class was dripping wet to the floor. Not a single of them managed to do this the right way. They all used their quirks in obvious ways. No one thought outside the box. Most of them took this as a joke. He was utterly disappointed. This was the future heroes, not in his watch. In my 2 years of teaching, I have never watched a class so insane when it comes to failing. Ouch. But we left the room. You said at any necessary. What we're supposed to do? That was stupid. I had fun. Everyone yelled at the same time. Enough! There was a drain in the floor that all you had to do was unlock, and the door would have unlocked. No one even thought of checking the door, nor looking down. You all use the work in obvious ways. No one took this seriously, except for one group. Most of you didn't even think of working as a team. Honestly, I'm disappointed. I see no potential this year. Ouch. In fact, I'm transferring all of you to another course. I'm not teaching a class with no potential. That is why you are dismissed, expelled. Get out of my faces. He wasn't going to do this, but they annoyed him. What? You can't do that, but we passed the entrance exam. What do you mean expelled? Where are we supposed to go? Please give us another chance, sir. What do we even do for another chance? Ugh, fine. I'm giving you exactly 1 week to give me a reason to let you back in. Meanwhile, you are expelled from this course. No buts, no whines. Gather your things and talk to Nezu about what courses you have transferred to. If not, schools. Izuki was in shock. They were all, as 21 students, walked towards the principal and another courts watched. This was known as the Walk of Shame of 1A. Nezu watched the cameras, amused and a little pissed. Eris had really wanted to give him paperwork, huh? Well, he supposed this was a kind of revenge for invading his personal life. But all the rat ever did was to help the adoption of the boy to be fostered. Well, oh well. He opened his door before any of them could have a chance to knock. I will be seeing one at a time. Make a line. They did. Well, most of them wanted to be sent to the nearest bathrooms to dry themselves. To all the seniors who needed to pee, it was quite a strange view. Since Izuki was purposefully last in line, he rushed to the locker so he could put back on his Hirangi's clothes. When he came back, there was only 5 people left before him. He sat where they were all. He was kind of self-conscious about wearing a skirt. A few people looked at him strange, but most didn't care. Some even looked jealous. He wanted to text someone to tell them what happened, but he also rather have something to defy at say later. Eris expelled me, so they transferred me somewhere. I don't know what my future is yet. Yeah. So, did I mention he's the person who keeps trying to make me home? And the last night he actually succeeded? Yeah, there won't be a texting anyone soon. After what felt like ages, he was finally called in. Damn, he was intimidated by the chimera. Am I a mouse? A rat? A bear? Who knows? I am the principal, the chimera said while he was sitting in his chair comfy. I'm aware, he said before realizing what and incredibly rude that was. I see. Do you want some tea? He accepted. Well, Midoriya-san, I'd say, Aizawa has really surprised me with his little stunt. He does usually expel people. Yes, he does, but not an entire class at once. You bunch must have really pissed him off. I guess. He gave the boy the tea. I must say, this does give me an opportunity. You intrigued me. You intrigue me. Thanks. You are 14, aren't you? Yes. And they advanced you because your schoolwork was too easy for you, did they not? Yeah. He scratched his neck. They wanted me to finish middle school when I was 10, but I insisted on staying because I liked going to school. Really interesting. May I propose something to you? Sure. I have a test here I'd like you to take. If you pass, I'd let you become my personal student and go onto the support course. Okay. He liked tests. Tests were easier to understand than people. The Chimera gave him a tablet. Ready? Oh, you want me to do this now? Indeed. Well, What was his elective really? Okay. And start. He clicked his wrist to watch the time, and Midoriya started the thing. When Aizawa noticed what had happened, it was too late. What have I done? Extra. Why didn't Inko go looking for him when he didn't return home? Inka Midoriya was above all else a mother, and a mother that worries. So the second Izuku dared not to return home, she followed the tracker on his phone, and what she saw, never again. She would never go looking for him during the night again. She didn't understand exactly what was happening, but she wasn't quite sure she wanted to know. There were a group of cats wearing dark capes, and witch hats circling the fire and meowing at the moon. One of the cats she noticed was green. Izuku did not notice her, but honestly, she didn't want him to. Maybe she was a bad mother to have simply turned away and walked away. But she refused to say to watch cats doing a seance ritual, and worst of all, she had half the mind to think if she stayed, she would become the sacrifice. The reality of the situation actually had nothing to do with a seance or nor demons, but neither Midoriya mentioned the incident, and Izuku was simply glad his mother suddenly stopped worrying about his nightly outings. That was the end of chapter 3. Next will be chapter 4. I hope you all enjoyed. I really love this last extra part. It makes me crack up every single time. Anyway, I'll see you all next time.